It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show.
Welcome to the best show that you'll ever know. It's the Dep Lewis Show, and it's episode 27. 27, can you do something for me? Can you do a little podcast for me? 27, do your thing, 27. Hey, this is your host, Dep Lewis, and today is Sunday, April 9th, 2023. Another Sunday episode for your head top. Coming back on the regular schedule. Super regular over here, just being regular all the time. Coming through doing this podcast, and, welcome to it. Welcome to episode 27. You listened to all 26 before this, so I appreciate it. You downloaded them. You've followed Dep Lewis Show everywhere. You've liked, you subscribed, you rated, you commented, you reviewed, you turn on notifications and tell a friend. You can email any questions or feedback to DepLewisShow@gmail.com. Full episodes of Dep Lewis Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Patreon, and more on my Buzzsprout page. Buzzsprout page is a good hub to find the best place for you to listen to the Dep Lewis Show. And you can also listen to it on the Buzzsprout page if you'd like to do that. You got options for days out here for the Dep Lewis Show. No shortage of options, especially not for episode 27. There's clips of the show on YouTube and TikTok, so you'll be seeing some of those after this podcast is released. I have to chop those up and cut them up and find the best clips and find the best audio and put them together so you can watch and get hooked on this podcast. We're listening to it every week. You're telling everyone about it. You're loving it. You're buying merch that doesn't exist. You're just going crazy. You're subscribing to the Patreon. You're just hitting me up on Venmo, dropping cash in my account, just loving it, just telling everyone about it. And just really, really a great thing. So welcome to the Dep Lewis Show here, the best video game podcast in the world, where we talk about video games. We talk about some other things too at the end, some other forms of entertainment, if you will. So welcome to the show today. I hope you've been doing good out there. April's moving along. Today's actually Easter, so happy Easter to anyone celebrating that. Happy day to all the bunnies out there. I hope you're hopping. I hope you're being treated well. Hope you're not being overworked out there, and hope you're not having to look for too many eggs, and just hope you're doing great out there. So welcome to the show. Welcome to the damn show. It's the Dep Lewis Show, if you didn't know. Episode 27. So we're going to talk about some notes from last show. Let's see what I want to talk about. Okay, there's this little game called The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I just wanted to clarify some release information. It releases Friday, May 12th, 2023 for $69.99 on the Nintendo Switch. So this is the first Switch game with the price increase by $10. Games are normally $59.99 USDs, but now they are $69.99 USDs. So you better get your USDs ready. And I believe if you've already pre-ordered for the lower amount, that you're getting the lower amount. So those people are very lucky, and they have good foresight, and they're very smart, and now they have an extra $10 to go do with what they please. You could easily buy a beer. You could buy some DLC. You could buy that DLC for Dead Cells. Do all sorts of great stuff with your $10. You could buy a sandwich. You could buy a hot dog. You could buy whatever you want. Some candy. I don't know. Go buy a month of Nintendo Switch Online. I just know that you got $10 because you were smart. But Legend of Zelda comes out May 12th. Less than a month away. A month and 3 days or something like that. It's a Friday. So that's going to be a really great day. That's the next game that I am for sure purchasing. It's a definite purchase. A day one purchase for the Dep Lewis Show. So just wanted to highlight that. I think I was a little unclear on the exact day, but I wanted to make sure that you know that. All right, and the next note from last show I wanted to talk about, I've been talking about Risk of Rain recently in the last couple episodes, and I was looking over the weekend at the store page for Risk of Rain, and I typed it in on Nintendo, and guess what? There is a new Risk of Rain remastered coming out, and this is going to be a carefully designed, beautifully remastered, and loaded with new ways to play. Risk of Rain is back and better than ever. Dive into the iconic roguelike full of unique loot combinations, enhanced with new survivors, overhauled multiplayer, fan favorite content from Risk of Rain 2, and more. So this sounds like, and it's going to be released in 2023. I saw this on Nintendo when I was searching, and then I noticed it's on Steam as well. It's probably on other platforms as well. So I think this is the perfect opportunity to play Risk of Rain, and I'm going to wait for it. So I don't know when this game is going to be released exactly, but I think it will be a perfect time to be patient and wait for it. Hopefully the best Risk of Rain experience out there. It says, the only part that has me scared in here is it says it includes fan favorite content from Risk of Rain 2. So hopefully, I've heard Risk of Rain 1 is greater than, not equal to, Risk of Rain 2. So hopefully they pick just some of the good content from Risk of Rain 2 and has it as its own separate thing in this game, or maybe they've included it or incorporated it in some different kind of way, but it'll be interesting to see. And I can't believe I missed this. I don't know if they had an announcement about it, but I really just found this from searching Risk of Rain on the store page, and I saw a new a new entry on there. So pretty cool. Release date in 2023, and I think this will be the best way for me to play Risk of Rain. So I just wanted to bring that up. If anyone was thinking about buying or copying Risk of Rain based on the Dep Lewis Show, I think you still should. But if you'd like to be a little bit patient and wait, because there's plenty of games out, I think this, waiting for this might be a really smart move. So pretty cool. If you don't know, now you know. Risk of Rain, don't risk it. All right. So those are the notes from last show. So we're going to talk about what we're going to do with this show today. I've been jumping into it a little much here. I've been just a little excited to do this show today, I guess. So the show today, we're going to talk about in this first section the wonderful games that I've been playing since we last talked, since last week. I have a few of those. In the mid section of the show, we're going to smoke on some mid, and we're going to talk about what we've been seeing. I've been seeing some games coming out this month. I've been hearing some rumors. I've been seeing some DLC. There's been a mystery game drop. And there was actually something that you can watch in the theater that came out that I want to talk about. So it's video game related, so pretty cool. And then in the miscellaneous talk section, we're going to talk about some books. This podcast keeps continuing to become smart and smarter by reading these books, even though they are fun fantasy, save the world kind of novels, but very cool to be reading. And we're going to talk about that. I've started a new book, and we're going to talk about some comedy specials. I've watched 3 comedy specials since we last talked. I talked about them. I think I talked about them last week, but maybe not. But this week I'm going to tell you about them, and I'm going to actually watch them so I can give you reviews on them. And spoiler alert, they were all very good and enjoyable. And then we're going to talk about the worldwide of sports, the worldwide world of sports. I never could say that right. And that's going to be the show for you today. It's going to be a great episode 27. So welcome to the show. Let me have a sip of coffee, and then we're ready to go. Have a nice sip of coffee here on Easter morning. The Easter bunny brought me some coffee, so that was nice of him. Very nice bunny, and he made it very delicious. So good Easter bunny. Way to go, Easter. You're doing great. You're doing good, Easter. All right, so the first game that I've been playing. Well, the first game I want to talk about is the best game of 2022, and that is Splatoon 3. There was a Splatfest last weekend, and I am proud to report that Team Nessie, the team that the Dep Lewis Show has chosen as the Splatfest team of choice, Team Nessie, Team Loch Ness Monster, was the winner. Won the whole damn Splatfest. The Team Nessie with the comeback win. Go Team Nessie, go. Loch Ness is the champ forever. My Splatfest record is back to being positive. I am 3-2 in the Splatfest, so there's been 5 of them. I've won 3 of them. So GG to me. I'm back on the good foot. I won 2, I lost 2, and now I won again. So the whole Nessie gang is going crazy. The Loch Ness Monster is real today. And just go Nessie go. Splatoon 3 is a great game. I'm sorry to aliens and sorry to Bigfoot. You might not be as real as Nessie, and Splatoon 3 has proved it. So I hope you had fun playing the Splatfest last week. I think I had one pretty decent session with it, and that was about it. So I did help the Team Nessie a little bit, but not as much as the other people on the team. So I'd like to shout out to them. A bunch of MVPs out there, and a shout out to Splatoon 3 for being a great game and being very fun as always. And I will be checking for this during the next Splatfest. Will probably be how it goes. So I will let you know if there is another Splatfest coming up or if there's any more Splatoon 3 news in the future. But this was the best game of 2022. It's still been providing some good content in 2023. So I don't really think I can ask too much more of the Splatoon 3 Splatlings and the Octolings. So they are my friends, and they're very cool and just a really great game. So Splatoon 3, go Team Nessie. Got the gold, got me back in the positive, and that is great news for the Dep Lewis Show. All right, so the next game that I've been playing came out in January, and I think is in contention for best game of the year for me right now, and that is the Dead Space remake. I defeated that GD Leviathan at the end of Chapter 6. I had to look up what to do, and that really helped me. I was dying a good bit before, so I'm fighting this giant Leviathan. It's at the end of a very hard chapter, and I keep dying. So I look at some really hot strats online, and I figure out what to do. And it actually wasn't too complicated. You just had to do some dodging in the 0G, some dodging, some shooting, using some kinesis to pull some items to you, and throw them at that big-ass Leviathan and take them out. So I think there was 3 phases to the Leviathan, and completed that, and I was very happy, and I'm on to Chapter 7. So Chapter 7 is called Into the Void. It started off very fun. I had to repeat a zero G section a few times, but ended up being more strategic because of it, so I'm making progress. And I'm definitely being less scared of this game as I play it, so that's been very nice. I've been playing this game with a little more of the sound on. I've been wearing the headset sometimes. Been making some progress. Been getting into the atmosphere. Been really growing up and just, becoming really strong out here on these Dead Space streets. And it's been really fun. So this game, I'm just slowly prodding along on it, but I'm enjoying it so much. I don't think my slow progress has, any bearings on the game's quality or anything. I think it's just the way I'm playing this game and the way I'm enjoying it. But it's been really fun. I just kind of hop in there, put up with as much crap and enemies and scariness as I can, and make some progress, and then hit a save point, and I dip out of there. So I'm going to hopefully be doing this until I complete this game is the goal. And I'm really loving it. Dead Space is so cool. I love the weapons. I love the kinesis. The enemies are fun to kill. There's some challenging stuff in it. I love the line that you can hit to follow to the objectives. That's very nice for me. I like the exploratory stuff. Just really fun. This game's awesome. And the graphics look amazing. Runs well. Isaac's really cool. I love his armor. I think I just found Isaac's lady, Nicole. Just came across her, and she's really cool. She's kind of way too calm for the situation, I feel like. I finally get to her in Chapter 7 or whatever, and Isaac's very excited, and she's very businesslike. So pretty neat, pretty cool. And this game has been very fun. So Dead Space, you are I was gonna say a gem, but it's not a gem. It's not a masterpiece. I don't know. It's a great game, so you should play it. Dead Space Remake. I believe it's on sale right now on some platforms too, so go check that out. I think it was on PlayStation. I saw this game's on sale. It might have been $5 or $10 off on it, so a great reason to go purchase it if you'd like to. So Dead Space has been very great, and it's definitely a contender on the Dep Lewis Show 2023 Game of the Year list. So we will be talking about this game some more, and I think you should go play it if you haven't, especially if you haven't played Dead Space like myself. I never played before, so this was something I missed in the past, and I think I should have played it before. I think it's awesome, so I think you should too. Alright, the next game that I've been playing also has Dead in the title, and that is Dead Cells Return to Castlevania DLC. Another DLC, or another game, but this is another contender, I believe, for my Game of the Year list, because I've been having so much fun with it. I wrote that I stink at it, and that was earlier in the week, but yesterday I actually had I think it was at least 39 minutes. It might have been over 40, just barely. But I died to the second main boss. So I beat the first boss, spoiler alert. If you're out there and you don't want to hear this, spoiler. The first mini boss I fought was Death, and I fought him once before and I lost. So this time I actually fought him and completed it. And it was a hard fight, but I felt pretty strong throughout it, and I survived with a good bit of health left, so I felt pretty good. So I kept on moving along. I couldn't believe I was going this far in Dead Cells. After going through the castle and all that kind of stuff. I think I'm on the Castlevania portion still, but I don't know because I've never been that far. And I think the farthest I got in that run was to the clock tower, I think is what it was. But I got to the second, kind of the same kind of boss the first guy. What was it called? Not Death. Yeah, it was Death. But the second guy I fought, I had him down to just a tiny bit of health, but I couldn't hold out, and he got me. It was kind of frustrating, but this game is amazing. I've never been that far in the game. I've never had that long of a run, that much success. I got a bunch of achievements popping up as I was playing, and I'm going to keep on keeping. This game has, you die and you go back to the beginning, but there's built-in progression throughout the game in other ways. So when I get back after my big run, I get back, and then there's a character from the Castlevania series that I believe it was that acknowledges me. And, talks about how we're going to do this thing again. And Dead Cells has been very fun. Let's see, I wrote the controls feel great. I've actually been listening to the sound on this game. So this has been a little bit of a trend for me. I've been more into the, just focusing on the game itself and the music and the atmosphere and things like that. I've said atmosphere twice now, so that's the word of the show apparently. But I've been listening to the music and the sound now and enjoying that. Yeah, I forgot that I like the music in Dead Cells. It kind of reminds me of the Hades music. I don't know which came first, the chicken or the Hades egg, but I think these games are kind of similar in style, and the music's kind of similar in style too, but I think that is a positive. I don't think it's a negative, and I don't think they're like biting each other. I think it's just works well for this style of game. But Dead Cells music is fun, the combat is fun, the weapons are fun. I unlocked that magic bow that had homing missiles on it. I was really trying to get that. It was awesome. I unlocked it was a sword and a gun combo for my primary weapon. It was awesome. And then I got a bunch of great upgrades during that run. And I really thought I was going to beat the game or something, but I don't know if you can technically beat it. I don't know. I guess you can beat it in one run, but there's probably more things to do. But I was having a great run at this game. I'm loving Dead Cells. Having on multiple platforms. And I just think it'll be something I'll be playing for a while and talking about. And it's been a very, very nice surprise about how good it is. I knew it would be good because it's Dead Cells, but I didn't know it would be this good. And I think I'm a Castlevania fan because I really love not the atmosphere, the aesthetic and the vibe. Those are different words I've used before, but using them again for this game, and it's very, very fun. So go play some Dead Cells, the Return to Castlevania DLC. It'll run you about $10 for the DLC itself, and you need to have the base game, which runs for like $25. So there's actually a bundle I saw. I think it's $30. You can cop the base game and the Return to Castlevania DLC in one, so that's a pretty decent deal. And definitely worth, Dead Cells is definitely worth, $30 or $25 easily. So go play that game. It's awesome. Okay, the next game that I've been playing is courtesy of Xbox Game Pass, and that is MLB The Show 23, the official sport of the Dep Lewis Show, the MLB, and the official team of the Dep Lewis Show, the Atlanta Braves. So I've been doing a franchise with the Braves. I've been continuing this. It's been very fun. I've been wanting to say since this game came out, Max Fried in this game, the ace pitcher for the Braves. What the heck is going on with him? Who is that? What is his hair doing in this game? Do they update any of these hairstyles or anything during the season? I don't know. Even Ronald Acuna, who looks really good in this game, has his short hair. Ronald's growing his dreads out and they're blonde, so it'd be cool if you could see that in the game. We don't have to wait till next year, but Max Fried, he needs help. He needs a haircut in this game. I don't know when the last time Max Fried's hair looked like that, but give the man some more credit. Give him some more style. MLB The Show. Make Max Fried look better if you can, and it bothers me every time I play this that it looks so funny. But this game has been great. I'm in May in the season, where I'm at. So I'm actually going to some games in May. And my MLB The Show file, the Braves won all 3 of those games I played, so that was nice to see. I wanted to send that to my friends I'm going with, and I need to remember to do that to troll them and say that this is what's going to happen in May for real. But it's been fun. I've been playing player locked as Ronald Acuna. I'm bat number 300. I'm getting pretty good at doing hitting. The outfield play is pretty easy, and this game is just very enjoyable. It's very relaxing. I love that it's on Game Pass. This is a perfect game for listening to music or listening to podcasts with. So I've been doing that. It's been a good way to combo 2 things I really like, video games and podcasts, and it's a good mishmash of them. So MLB The Show has been very good. You can play this on Xbox. It's been on Xbox for 3 years now, but obviously it's available on PlayStation as well. I don't know if it's available on PC, but go play MLB The Show, the best way to play baseball that you'll ever know. And, play the Braves in there and do some things with Ronald Acuna, and then don't look at Max Fried because you get freaked out. So that's all I want to say about MLB The Show 23. That's been a very fun game. And I think where we stand right now, it would be on the Dep Lewis Show 2023 Game of the Year list. So congratulations to you for being an early contender, MLB The Show, on this very prestigious podcast. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about in this first section of what I've been playing is I just want to acknowledge that I just want to say sorry out there to my PlayStation 5. I haven't really touched you. I haven't really played you. You weren't even hooked up for a while, so I've got you hooked up. You're in a great spot. I got the tiniest HDMI cord hooked up to you so it can have my cable management looking great. And I wanted to kind of, possibly start doing some work on the PlayStation. I haven't completed a game on the PlayStation 5 since I bought it. So that is major weak sauce. So I have, I deleted everything on there except for God of War Ragnarok and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. So those are 2 games that I want to kind of dabble with and get back into a little bit and play some, make some progress, get some more opinions on them. I feel like these are both great games that I didn't play a ton of, so I need to get back in there and, get my money's worth. I bought these games. They seem very fun. It's not like they're outdated. And it gives me a great reason to play my PlayStation, which I love playing it because I like the controller, I like the UI. I think the graphics on it look great, and some of these franchises, the only place you can play them is on PlayStation, so I need to take advantage of it. So that is kind of one of my little notes in my head for this week of things to do. So I've actually been playing Ratchet. I played last night for a good bit. I picked up on my file. I picked up and continued my file that I'm like 20. I think I'm at 27% of the way through the game. So I picked up around there and I'm back playing. Played some again this morning and I've been enjoying it. I was most of the time with these games, I'm noticing another trend. I get stuck on a portion and then I switch to something else. So in this Ratchet and Clank, I was on a Clank section, and I tried it a few times, and I didn't get through it. So I think that's what really stopped me from playing. But yesterday I got in there. I was really like focused on it. Ratchet and Clank is a game not for children, but it kind of is. It's not like it's not like playing Elden Ring or something, and there's different difficulties, and I'm even playing on easy, but I sat there and I figured it out. It was 3 different puzzles you had to get through, and then it brings you kind of back to the open world. So I got over that threshold yesterday, and I think that really helped. And I need to recognize these situations more when I get hung up on a game, because sometimes it really does just blank me and stop me from playing it, and I should just go look up the solution to it, kind of like with the Leviathan in Dead Space. I wasn't stuck on the Leviathan for a while, but I did have a few sessions trying to beat him. I turned it off, and it could have turned into that problem, but I looked up how to beat it. And I've been making more progress. So I need to take advantage of this more often instead of just kind of getting frustrated or whatever. Or it's not like I get angry at it. It's just I try it and then I can't beat it, so then I'm not like immediately like jazzed to go boot it up again and feel bad about not beating it or whatever. But just wanted to highlight that you might hear some more PlayStation talk. There's not really. The only PlayStation game I'm clocking this year is the new Spider-Man game, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, that comes out later in the year. I did beat the original Spider-Man on PlayStation 4, so Spider-Man 2 would be something that I would cop on day one. So I at least have some stuff to play that I own already that, probably the best games, some of the best games on the console, and then have at least one to look forward to later in the year. So I have no reason to, not get back into some of these old games on PlayStation because there's not too much coming out that I'm interested in, exclusive to PlayStation. So just wanted to highlight that. And that is actually going to wrap up this first section of the show. So we talked about, what I've been playing. Team Nessie won the Splatfest last weekend. That's really, really epic. I want to highlight that again. I've been playing the Dead Space remake. I've been playing Dead Cells Return to Castlevania DLC. I've been playing MLB The Show 23. And I'm back dabbling with my PlayStation 5. Me and the PS5 are back on good terms, showing the PS5 some love. I've been playing some Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Shout out to Ratchet and shout out to Rivet. I changed my icon on PlayStation to be Rivet because I really, really like her. She's very cool. And it's been a great week of video games. So I'm going to continue playing some of these next week. And we're going to take our first break of the show. So we're going to take our first break. So please go do what you need to do and then come back in just a little bit. And we're going to talk about what I've been seeing across the video game landscape. There's some games coming out in April. There's some rumors. There's some DLC. And there's actually a video game movie that's out that I want to highlight too. So we're going to take a quick break. And then we're going to come back and talk about some more video games. So don't go nowhere. Listen to this music and then come right back and be alert and attentive and enjoy the show. Be back after this music. Welcome back to the midsection of Dep Lewis Show, episode 27. This is the section where we talk about what I've been seeing around the video game world. And we got a few things to talk about today, so let's get into it. Alright, later in the month there's a video game coming out that looks pretty cool. It's called Star Wars Jedi Survivor. We've talked about it a little bit before, but we're going to highlight it again since I've started seeing some footage about it. This is a upcoming action-adventure game developed by Respawn Entertainment and published by Electronic Arts, otherwise known as EA. And this is a sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. It is scheduled to release on PS5, Windows, and Xbox Series X and S on Friday, April 28th, 2023. So just a few weeks away from official release. And It is $69.99 for the standard edition. You need 155 gigs of SSD space to play this game properly. So that is a big ass game. 155 gigs. I think it's bigger than Call of Duty. So the prior game was Jedi Fallen Order, which only needed 55 gigs. So this game is doubling the gig space. So hopefully that is a good sign. With this, Respawn, I don't know if this is a quote from them or something, but apparently Respawn wanted to push the scope of Jedi Survivor's quality and gameplay well beyond Jedi Fallen Order, to the point where Respawn had to cut off previous generation console support deep into the development cycle due to performance issues. So that is why this game is only getting a next-gen release currently. They're focusing on the next-gen, and they obviously need the next-gen hardware to run this game, is what it sounds like. I watched Jeff Gerstmann. He was playing a demo or watching a demo or talking over his demo footage, but it was a small section that he had some video footage for. And he was talking about, what was he talking about? He was talking about, I lost what I was going to say, but he was playing this game. I'm trying to think about what I was saying about the, he was talking about the first game. When it first got released, it had a lot of issues with it, like technical issues. The game actually ended up reviewing pretty well and people enjoyed it, but he was reminding me that at launch that it was kind of shady or shaky with its performance stuff. So I guess they really, are really not wanting that to happen with this game, is what it sounds like. So hopefully this game will be running smoothly from the jump. But they were able to get to a sequel. Star Wars can probably do whatever they want. But that last game really did have some good. Seemed like it had good quality to it. It was just, a little jacked up at the beginning. So they kind of got through the jacked upness and people were able to get to the quality. So I guess that's how we're getting the sequel. But I just wanted to point that out. So this game's 155 gigs. You have to run it on the SSD because that's how you get all the faster load times and stuff like that. And I was listening to Nextlander this week, because I probably mentioned that every show. I was talk about something from Nextlander. To talk about their perspective, but they were talking about how SSDs are expensive, and that the only one you've been able to buy, that is an SSD that's, I don't know, it's like plug and play, like the best kind of easiest access for your Xbox Series X or S is that Seagate, 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte expansion, but that thing will run you like $200, maybe a little more. And it looks like now Western Digital is getting into this market. And it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a discount, around $180 for a gigabyte. So pretty good that there's at least becoming another option here. But these prices are, way higher than, like a hard drive or an SSD you can buy for your computer. So they're taking advantage of, not taking advantage of, but they're providing a product that works exclusively with the Xbox, or can work seamlessly with it. So you're having to pay the price for it. But talking about this Star Wars game, it seems very cool. I don't know if I'll be playing it right when it comes out, but the footage I've seen of it seems very fun and good. And, I think a lot of that stuff dropped last week, so we'll probably be seeing some more coverage come out for this game before it gets released. But you should go check it out, and go check out Jeff Gerstmann. He has a video on YouTube of him playing this, so it's really, really pretty cool if you want to go watch it. So Star Wars Jedi Survivor seemed like a great game. All the Star Wars people will be happy. I believe it was just this week that Star Wars announced they have a new, I don't know if it's a trilogy or a movie coming out with Rey, Rey from Star Wars, and I really like her a whole lot. She was from the more modern trilogy, and I would be excited to watch that because I really like her, and I like Rey as a character, and I like the recent Star Wars movies. So pretty damn cool. So go play some Star Wars if you'd like to at the end of the month. All right, so another game coming out this month. I just wanted to highlight it real quick. Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp is finally releasing in April 21st, 2023. The pre-orders are available now, and this game is $59.99. I thought it was funny. I was listening to some people talk about this game this week, and they're saying that this game is full of child soldiers. These are all 12-year-old kids fighting war, but they kind of talk about it you guys won the battle this time, but we'll be back next time, or we're gonna get you. It's it's not like it's but they're actually have tanks and stuff like that. So it's like war light, or I don't know. It just sounded kind of funny. They're these little kids, driving tanks and being commanders, and what's the word? something participating in war. These little kids are participating in war, but they're very flippant about it and just kind of like, oh man, you got me. I'm gonna get you next time. But this game seems very cool. Never played either one back in the day. I don't know if I'll be dropping the cash on it to get it this month, but it could be something I buy in the future. And I've heard really good things about it from other people, so it seems really neat. So I wanted to highlight here in the midsection, the What I've Been Seeing section of the Dep Lewis Show, episode 27. All right, so let's get into some rumors. Rumor alert, rumor mill. Sony is creating a handheld. Sony's rumored to be working on a new handheld gaming device. The company reportedly has a handheld device referred to as the Q Lite in development. The new handheld will be used to play PS5 games remotely instead of being its own platform with games developed for it. And Sony's last entry in the handheld gaming market was the PlayStation Vita in 2012. The device lasted for 7 years, and Sony ceased production in 2019 with no plans for a successor. Man, that's hard to believe. The Vita was 2012. I feel like it came out before that, but maybe my note's wrong, or maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. But the Vita was an epic handheld. I never owned one myself, but I played the friends, and it was really, really cool. It had a lot of great indies on there, and I think it had an OLED screen back in the day, so that's even pretty impressive. But this new handheld, I was a little bit excited when I heard the rumors because I'm interested in new hardware and handheld stuff. But I don't know if this sounds like something that I would be wanting to cop. I don't know if I want a remote only play device, and I don't have much of a huge need for streaming games from my console to a handheld like in my house or whatever. So I don't know if this would be something I would buy. I bet it would be a little bit. I heard Brad from Nextlander saying that if this was inexpensive, he would be more inclined to buy it like $100 add-on or something. But it's probably going to be more than that, would be my guess. And I just don't know. I think this is probably good for some situations. I don't know if it's good for mine. Maybe if you have a household with a lot of people and you need some time with your PlayStation and handheld, you don't want to take up the TV, this might be a good entry or way to do it. But it'll still be cool. It's a cool thing to follow. Check out the news on it, and these are the kind of rumors I like. These are pretty neat. So Sony might have a handheld brewing out there. Excuse me one second. So I'll keep you up with the news on that. All right, so let's keep on moving down here. What I've been seeing out there in the video game world. There's a game that made the Dep Lewis Show Game of the Year list last year, and that was Vampire Survivors. And there is some new DLC coming out for the Vampire Survivors. It's called The Tides of Foscari. Foscari. Foscari DLC. This will follow Vampire Survivors trend to be priced at $1.99. So can't beat the value there. I'll definitely be dropping that $1.99 even if I'm not playing a ton of this, or even if I'm not playing it right away. I definitely have $2 to put towards Ponkel and Vampire Survivors. So this actually releases this upcoming week, so you can play it. You can play it while listening to this show, and then we can talk about it some next week. So this releases Thursday, April 13th, 2023. There are new enemies. You can play as new heroes. You can get new weapons and explore a large new world. So there's a whole new world. There's 8 new characters, 13 new weapons, and 1 new large world, the lake. 7 new music tracks and 21 new achievements. So I said go Ponkel. There was a small trailer for this. It's not really worth. It's very, very short. So you can go watch it if you'd like. But I basically given you all the information here. You should go cop this if you are a Vampire Survivor owner, or if you're interested, you should buy Vampire Survivors. You should buy the last DLC that was $1.99, and you should buy this new DLC for $1.99. And Vampire Survivors is on Game Pass, so that's one way you can play it. So if you just wanted to drop $4 for the 2 DLCs packs, you could download this through Game Pass and pay the $4. You can play all the content in this game, or you can pay the $6 up front. You can play all the wonderful content Vampire Survivors has to offer. I still haven't heard anything about this coming to Switch, which I would be purchasing this game again on Switch most likely. But you can play this on Xbox or Steam as far as I know. And really, really great game. Excuse me once again. Sorry, having to utilize the cough button today. Alright, so yeah, go play Vampire Survivors. It's super fun, super cool. Art style's great. They're obviously being successful, releasing more DLC and putting more content out and updates. So go Ponkel. That's all I gotta say. Go Ponkel. Alright, another game that was released, and it got a surprise release on Steam for free, and that is The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. The team who created this wrote, "The game has been a labor of love from the Sonic social team and a host of amazingly talented people who are just as passionate about Sonic as we are. And this mysterious game comes after Sega teased that it was taking Sonic in a new direction. No one ever thought a new Sonic game would be a visual novel, no less on the eve of April Fool's Day, but this game got released to Steam. I've seen a few screenshots of it and it looks pretty cool. There was a lot of people, I saw at least a few streamers or people I follow like playing this or putting up VODs or videos. I don't want to say VOD, what is a VOD, but it's something. But people are putting up videos of, playing this, and I want to go check it out at some point. I don't know if this is something I want to buy or play, but I definitely think Sonic's cool. I think getting a game for free is very cool, especially if it has some good quality to it. I think a new genre or a new style of Sonic game is cool. I think it's cool to take a franchise in a different direction, especially if it's something for free and you can try it. So, if you're a big Sonic fan, this is great news for you. You can go play this and, get some more of your favorite blue Hedgehog friend or whatever, but pretty cool. So I just wanted to highlight that. The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog is out right now, and you can go play it for free if you'd like to. So go check it out. Say the Dep Lewis Show sent you. The Dep Lewis Show, episode 27. And all right, so the last thing I want to talk about in this section, something I've been seeing that's video game related, is a movie, and it came out Wednesday, April 5th, 2023, and that is the Super Mario Bros. Movie. So Super Mario, and the story here, it's a very complicated story. With the help from Princess Peach, Mario gets ready to square off against the all-powerful Bowser to stop his plans from conquering the world. So, if you couldn't have guessed it, Mario's trying to save the world from Bowser, needs Princess Peach's help. There's no chance Princess Peach gets captured. I'm sure she's, just on Mario's side the whole time, helping out right by him, never worrying. But this is a kids and family comedy. It's an hour and 32 minutes in length. I looked up some Rotten Tomatoes scores, even though I don't really ever do that because I'm not a huge movie person, but this was 56% on the tomato meter, so that doesn't seem too good. And that was as of April 8th, 2023, but it has a 96% audience score. So I don't think this movie is going to be in the pantheon for, greatest examples of films. Well, maybe it will, in a certain regard. It's just not going to be very, thought-provoking. It could just be a fun movie. It could have some cool style to it. It seems like that's what it should be. I think, this being the midsection, I've kind of heard this movie might be a little bit mid. But I don't know what you really should expect from it. I think you should just expect some, fanfare and some, nods to the series and to the history of Mario, and it just seems fun. It's something I want to watch at some point. I wouldn't go to the theater to see this, I don't think, but I would maybe pay some money to stream it when it comes out, on, when you're able to stream it or pay for it or rent it or whatever. I would maybe, pay some money to do that just to see it, because it is a movie about something I like, the Mario Bros. But I just want to let you know this is out. This has been a big deal for a long time with, Chris Pratt being Mario. It's got Jack Black as who's Jack Black in this? He's Bowser. Yeah, Jack Black's Bowser. Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong. A lot of people talking about the DK rap this week. The leader of the bunch, you know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail. His coconut gun will fire in spurts, and if he shoots you, it's gonna hurt. DK, Donkey Kong. DK, Donkey Kong is here. And apparently that song is in the movie. And I think the people were complaining about, which they rightfully should be, but I can't worry about every issue in the world all the time, but I don't think they gave credits to the proper person for the DK song in the credits of this, and there was some other glaring credit mishap in there that people were talking about. So maybe go check that out if you're really interested, and just go shout those people out on Twitter and say, hey, we appreciate you either way, even though you didn't get your proper credits. But that kind of stinks. But this movie seems good. It seems pretty cool. A lot of little kids probably enjoying it, and hopefully some adults are too. And maybe I will be at some point. So I just want to let you know that that's a pretty big happening in the video game space, or the arena of the video game world. So that is going to wrap up the mid-section today, the what I've been seeing. So we talked about Star Wars Jedi Survivor coming out later in the month, 4/28. We talked about Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp coming out 4/21/2023. We talked about some Sony handheld rumors, the Q Lite. We talked about that new Vampire Survivors DLC that comes out Thursday, April 13th, 2023 for $1.99, The Tides of Foscari. Sounds very Italian, the Foscari DLC. We talked about the Steam release of the free Steam release of The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog out now. And we talked about the Super Mario Brothers movie in theaters as of April 5th, 2023. So go see that if you'd like to. If you have an hour and 32 minutes and you got some cash to go to the movies, then you can go see it. So thank you for listening to this midsection of the show. We're going to take another break. We're going to hear some more wonderful music. And then we're going to come back for the miscellaneous talk section. We're going to talk some books. And we're going to talk some comedy. And we're going to talk some sports. So, hold on to your seats. Go heat up your coffee. Go grab a snack. Go grab your popcorn, because this next section is going to be great. And listen to this music and come back for the final section of the Dep Lewis Show in just a minute. Welcome back to the final section of Dep Lewis Show, episode 27. Thank you for returning to the show. I really appreciate it. I think you're number one. I don't think you're ever number two. And I just appreciate you. So thank you to you and your ears for coming back. We got some miscellaneous things to talk about here in this miscellaneous talk section. So the first thing we're going to talk about are some books. Yes, the Dep Lewis Show can read. It's hard to believe. And I've been on a good reading kick to start the year. So Goodreads, the cool app, the cool book reading app, is very pleased with me right now. I'm on track to reach my goal of 13 books this year, and I've been making some progress. So I wrote, the main question that everyone wants to know out there is, did you finish Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson? Secret project number 1 of the year. And I said, yes, I've completed it. So that was the 4th book I've completed this year. So I've completed 4 books. And those are The Lost Metal by Brandon Sanderson, I'd Like to Play Alone Please by Tom Segura, Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, and Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. So, all really good books. I recommend Tress 100%. I gave it a 5-star rating on Goodreads. And I have now moved on to the second secret project of the year by Brandon Sanderson. Well, no, I moved on and I completed it. So I am really, really killing these things. I got a lot of notes here, so I'm going through them. But at this point, I said I was currently, so after I read Tress, I started on the secret project number 2 by Brandon Sanderson, which was The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England. I completed that. I gave it a 4-star. That book is not related to the Brandon Sanderson Cosmere at all. It was just really a one-off. It was very enjoyable. It was a quick read, but I just gave it 4 stars because I just don't. It just felt a little more fleeting or whatever than some of the other books that he writes. So, and just knowing it was a one-off, I was just not as invested and just kind of, I don't know, I just kind of took it for what it was. It was just a one-off novel. It wasn't too long. It was all new characters and new subject matter, but it was very cool. It had I was telling a friend, it had a little bit of Ready Player One, vibes in it or whatever with, creating the different dimensions, not to spoil anything, but it was all about creating like different dimensions and going into them and experiencing them and things like that. But it's very cool. So I've finished, let's see, 5 books this year now. So I'm on my 6th. So I was saying I should rank these books at the end of the year. Like I said before, my goal is to read 13 books by the end of the year. And I'm on track for this right now. So that's very good since I did not hit my goal last year of this. I've done this Goodreads for a couple years now. And I think last year was the only one I've missed. But this will be a cool thing to keep up with. And I can rank them at the end of the year and have a great time with them. And so I moved on now. So I finished the first 2 secret novels of Sanderson. And a new book that came out this week on April 4th, 2023 for $5.99 on the Kindle was the new Will White book, or I like to call him Will Witt, and that's called The Captain, The Last Horizon Book 1. So this is a new series by Will White, and another book is already planned after this. So I've started reading The Captain. I'm probably a third of the way through this. It is, more space kind of combat, more science fiction-y of a novel, and it feels good to be reading some Will White again after I plowed through the whole Cradle series. Was my life last year of reading Cradle, and it's just nice to have another book from one of your favorite authors come out, and he's trying something new. It's a new series. There's already a sequel planned that comes out I think in a couple months, so I'll be purchasing that as well. So it gives me another book to read to try to reach my goal. And so I just want to let you know about all that. So since we last talked, I finished Tress of the Emerald Sea, and I finished The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England, and those are both by Brandon Sanderson. And now I've moved on to Will White, The Captain, so the first book in the Last Horizon series. So pretty neat. So if you want to read any of those, I think you should. If you have any questions about some book stuff, email DepLewisShow@gmail.com and I can give you my opinion. And I'll be talking about some more of these as we go throughout the year. So pretty cool. I'm glad to be making some progress there. All right, so we're going to switch gears. We're going to start talking about some comedy. So there was 3 comedy specials that were released last week. Or 2 of these were definitely released last week, and the other one was released very recently. But I just found out about it, and I want to tell you about these. So these are 3 specials that just came out recently. They're free on YouTube. They're all from great comedians that are great at podcasting, and that's how I know them. And now it's been nice to get to see their stand-up, and all very good specials, is what I gotta say. So that's a spoiler alert. So the first one is Chase O'Donnell, People Pleaser. Go watch that. Ryan Sickler, Lefty's son. Go watch that. And then Big J Oakerson, Dog Belly. So all 3 of these lived up to the hype for me. They actually exceeded my expectations in all 3 of them. They're all a little bit different, which is cool. Big J is sitting on his stool at Skankfest, and it's Ari Shafir helped him produce it, or executive produce it. So just awesome. Big J's special was great. Chase O'Donnell's was called People Pleaser, and it was very cool and very unique. It was only about 30 minutes long, maybe 36 minutes. She plays a guitar in there, so that is something. And she even mentions, hey, don't you love comedians that sing? But she does an amazing job at it. It's very funny, very cool, very different. Chase is really, really cool, and she was actually on Josh Potter's podcast last week, so go watch that. And all these people, Ryan Sickler, Chase O'Donnell, and Big J Oakerson have been on they've been doing the podcast round. So if you want to go see what they're about, outside of a special, you have plenty of stuff to watch recently, and they're very funny. And that Chase episode on Josh Potter's show this week was hilarious, so go watch that. And go watch all these specials, and go share them and like them and promote them and do all those great things, because these are YouTube specials, and I love this trend of specials being on YouTube. And I just love it. I love this high quality comedy specials getting released for free on YouTube, and hopefully it will lead to more success for all these people and help grow their audience and reach and all that kind of stuff. And I think if you go click play on this, you're going to be a fan. So go watch all 3 of these specials. I highly recommend them. Chase O'Donnell, People Pleaser, Ryan Sickler, Lefty's son, and Big J Oakerson, Dog Belly. And you can go watch them all now on YouTube for free 99. So very, very, very cool. There's more of these to come. I heard that Mark Norman, he just filmed his special. It's coming out on Netflix. I think Joe List has one coming out. There's some more comedians dropping YouTube specials coming out in the very near future and this year. So I will keep you abreast of all the comedy special knowledge, because it's something I'm very interested in, and I really like watching it, and it's very fun, and there's been a lot of good stuff recently, so just very, very, very good. So go watch some comedy specials, and email the DepLewisShow@gmail.com if you have any that I'm missing. I know there's probably a few more that have come out recently of people I don't necessarily follow all the way, but go watch them. So pretty nice. So comedy, Mark Norman, comedy. All right, so let's get into the worldwide world of sports, and I finally said that right. And the official NFL team of the Dep Lewis Show, the Carolina Panthers, there have been no updates here with them. I'd just like to say extend Brian Burns. I'd like to say that I'm ready to see the new uniform design. They're just changing the hue of the blue by a little bit. They say in 2012, when to deal with Nike, they weren't exactly to get the right shade of blue that the Carolina Panthers use. But now after the years have passed, that they're able to get the exact hue. Nike's added it into their catalog, so they're going to update the jerseys. It doesn't sound like they're going to change too much, besides that if you put them side to side from the old jersey, it sounds like the hue of the blue will be a little bit different, and I think they're doing a little bit something different with these stripes on the arm. So not too much of a change, but hopefully it will be a change for the better. And Carolina Panthers have the draft coming up, within a month, and picking the new quarterback is their main objective, and extending Brian Burns is my main hope. So that's what I wanted to say about the Carolina Panthers today. All right, the Charlotte Hornets, they lost their last home game of the season to the Rockets. They have one game left against the Cavs. They're 26-55 before the Cavs game. Most of the players are injured on their team. No LaMelo Ball. Ever since I moved to North Carolina, I saw one game of LaMelo, and then he got injured in that game. So that was kind of sad. But their playoff hopes were already in the toilet. But I just want to say shout out to Charlotte Hornets for doing their thing, and one more game to watch with them. So the NBA season is coming up. Regular season's coming to an end. We got some playoffs coming up, and the Dallas Mavs did not make the playoffs, and the Charlotte Hornets actually beat them twice towards the end of the year. So that's pretty funny. And that's it for the Charlotte Hornets. That's all I had to say. I just wanted to shout out that their season's almost over, and you won't be hearing any more Charlotte Hornets talk until next year, most likely. So, shout out to them. Hope they have a good offseason, and hope they can, be more competitive next year. Would be a big hope. All right, the Atlanta Hawks are going to be participating in the play-in tournament versus the Miami Heat at 7 or 7:30 p.m. Eastern on TNT on April 11th, 2023. So that is this Tuesday. The Hawks are going to play the Heat, so that's going to be an epic showdown to try to get into the big dance, the NFL, the NBA playoffs. So I'll be tuned into that. I'm going to be excited to watch some of this playoff basketball. Definitely the best time to watch basketball. The regular season can be a little long and tedious, and they have players resting, and things are already decided. But the playoffs and beyond is always super fun to watch in the NBA. The level of play goes up, the intensity goes up, the challenge and the drama goes up. So just be tuned in for the playoffs coming up soon, and you can get a taste of that on Tuesday when the Hawks play the Heat. So go Hawks! All right. The best team in the universe, the whole galaxy, the whole, everything you can think of, and the best sport, and the official sport of the Dep Lewis Show, Major League Baseball, and the official team of the Dep Lewis Show, the Atlanta Braves. So, got a good bit of notes here, so we're going to talk about some Braves stuff, go over some things since I last talked to you. The Braves lost Sunday to the Nats, last Sunday to the Nats, going 2-1 for that opening series. They've been playing every day this past week, so that's been very nice. Andrew Jones, number 25, is getting retired by the Braves, so shout out to Andrew Jones. That is definitely earned and well-deserved. That's a solid move. I think Christian Pache was the last person to try to rock this number and who was rocking it, so I don't think anybody's been currently using it, so it doesn't mess anything up there. But Andrew Jones was, great player from my childhood, and one of my, he could be up there with one of my favorite Braves of all time. Definitely one of the best center fielders I've ever watched play, probably the best I've ever seen. Or, definitely up there, and very cool. His number's getting retired by the Braves, and I've seen, he has a son now who's playing baseball and is making some noise out there. I think he's in the minors or might be in college, but pretty cool as well. So let's keep going on this Braves news. The Braves won their first game against the Cards, lots of bombs. Riley hit a moonshot. I bet against a friend this week on the Cards games. He's a Cards fan. We like to bet tall boys is our currency for betting. So, a tall boy of beer, a tall can. So we bet one tall boy on each of the 3 games, and then we bet a tall boy on which team hits the most home runs. So I actually won 4 tall boys for my friend. So his poor Cards lost all 3, and then the Braves beat him in homers. So it was pretty fun, pretty cool bet. And if you want to start betting with your friends in an alternate currency, you should start betting tall boys for things, because this is what we do most of the time, and it's very fun. So let's see. So the Braves swept the Cards, which was very nice. Bombs away again in Game 2. Dodd had a good first career start. So Dodd's plan worked. He had a rocky first inning, but that was really it. So he did a nice job. They swept the Cards 3-0. Money Mike got hurt. He's hurt for a bit with a back injury, so that was a negative news. But my other bets. I have a bet with a Rangers fan that the Braves will hit more home runs during the season than the Rangers, and then I've bet that the Braves will outperform their over and under more than the Rangers. So those are my 2 bets with that friend, and we bet some tall boys there. So I just wanted to kind of keep you updated with some of my bets going on, and if I'm winning or losing. But I won my Braves versus Cardinals bet last week, so that was pretty awesome. Let's see. Then the Braves moved on to the Padres for later in the week. The Braves won the first game against the Padres and lost the second, and this has been the first series at home. So the Braves played the Padres last night and lost. The Braves were wearing their City Connect jerseys, which are amazing. This is the first time they wore them for the season. And when I pulled up the store yesterday morning, the Fanatics store, all the City Connect gear was released on the store for people to buy in the public. So I've made a purchase. The Dep Lewis Show has made a purchase, and I've ordered a new Atlanta Braves City Connect jersey. And it's going to have a number 27 on the back for Austin Riley, and I can't wait to get it. I'm supposed to get it this week, and it'll be something that I'm wearing to the baseball games in May, and I'll be looking fresh as fuck. So go Braves, even though you've been, struggling a little bit with the Padres here. It's been a great series. Could be a World Series matchup, in October. Both these teams have a great chance of getting to the World Series. I'd like to say, Josh Hader, you're a jerk. I'm not appreciating you right now. Quit throwing that heat against my boys. And, the Braves played today, and I hope they can get a win against the Padres. And the next week is home versus the Reds, and then away at the Royals. So some kind of different opponents for the Braves right there. The Reds and the Royals are, two just kind of different teams to be playing. So it'll be an interesting week for Braves baseball. And overall, the Braves are doing pretty good. Ready to get Max Fried back in the rotation. I'm ready to get Kyle Wright back. Ready to get Mike Soroka back up to the majors after his, rehabbing. And I'm ready to, what am I also ready for? Ready for Money Mike. Ready for, I'm just ready to keep watching. It's been awesome. I love the start of baseball season. And I've been watching on Fubo TV, just so you know. Fubo TV, you can watch the Braves on Bally Sports. And, just go Braves. It's been one of the best things having baseball back, and just one of the best times of the year for the baseballs. So that is going to wrap up our miscellaneous talk section here. So we talked about some books that I've been reading. Goodreads is a great app for keeping up with your books, so use that if you'd like. We talked about some comedy specials by Chase O'Donnell, Ryan Sickler, Big J. Oakerson. We talked about the Carolina Panthers, the Charlotte Hornets, the Atlanta Hawks, and the Atlanta Braves. And go Braves today against the Padres. And hopefully we'll be talking about a whole bunch of wins next week against the Reds and the Royals is the goal. So that is going to wrap up the miscellaneous talk section. And in turn, that is going to wrap up the Dep Lewis Show episode 27. We did another show out there. Thank you so much, as always, for listening. I hope you enjoyed this show. I hope you got to get some good insight on the games I'm playing. Hope you enjoyed the news and the rumors and the releases that I talked about in the midsection. Hopefully you'll find some cool stuff there. And then hopefully you enjoyed this miscellaneous talk section with, some book recommendations, some comedy show recommendations, some great sports team recommendations. And, I just really appreciate you for being here in the Dep Lewis Show world, listening to the 27th episode. If you're just starting here, go back and listen to some old episodes. They have some good stuff in there for you. Some good information, some good insight, some good jokes, just some good entertainment. So go listen to the whole Dep Lewis Show catalog if you haven't before. And if you just started now, I really appreciate you. And if you really like to help the show even more, besides just listening with your ears, follow Dep Lewis Show everywhere. Like, subscribe, rate, comment, review, turn on notifications, and tell a friend. Email any questions or feedback you have to DepLewisShow@gmail.com. That email box is open 24/7, 365. So slide on in there. Full episodes of Dep Lewis Show are on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Patreon, and more on my Buzzsprout page. Clips on YouTube and TikTok. And just thank you for being the best listener in the entire world. And I hope you have a great week. And just come back next week. We're going to have next week will be episode 28. I guarantee it'll be the best episode yet. So you don't want to miss it. So have a wonderful week out there in the world and in the video game world. And I'll see you next week, loyal listener, and have a good weekend out there. Listen to this music and then come back next week and have a good one. See you then.